The nagging memory. Guilt is a teacher, not the jailer. Ever had a moment that still haunts you, even if it was years ago? Something you did, regardless if it was small or major, and the memory just doesn't quit. Well, you're not alone. Keep that memory in the back of your mind, because we're about to break down why it just won't let go. And most importantly, how you can finally drop the emotional weight. What guilt actually is. Guilt isn't random. It's like an emotional smoke alarm designed to keep you living up to a set of standards. Sometimes those are your own rules, what you believe is right or wrong. Other times, they're the rules handed down by your family, friends, culture, or even just the people around you right now. But guilt only shows up if three things line up. Firstly, there's a standard behavior, yours or someone else's. Secondly, you fall below that standard. Thirdly, somebody somehow gets harmed. If you tick those three boxes, guilt lights up. Doesn't matter if it was big or small, if harm happens and you know you've slipped, you'll feel it. Guilt versus shame. Witnesses change everything. Let's get straight to it. Guilt and shame are not twins, but they are roommates. Guilt is what you feel when you've broken a rule and you know it matters. Even if no one saw, you get that gut punch. Shame slams you when people see you break a rule. If someone whose opinion you care about notices, the feeling's 10 times as bad. It's not just I did wrong, it's they see me as the kind of person who does wrong. If you smash a mug at home, you feel silly but get on with your day. Smash a mug in front of your co-workers, that's shame kicking in. Key difference. Guilt, I need to fix what I did. Shame, I want to hide who I am because I got exposed. And witnesses, they turn guilt up to shame. The more you care about the witness, the deeper the sting. Real quick, if you're getting value from this, hit like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more no BS tools for personal growth. My next video goes deep into breaking old patterns, so don't miss it. Now, let's shovel back in. Why guilt gets stuck. Sometimes you make amends, apologize, and still the guilt won't die. Here's why. The bigger the harm, the heavier the guilt. Even if your mistake was tiny. If there's no way to fix it, the feeling lingers. If the harm was public, or if people you look up to know about it, the memory sticks like glue. But let's get real. Sometimes guilt hits so hard, it feels like it's swallowing you whole. That's not random either. There are some situations where guilt gets supercharged. Maybe you made a small mistake, like oversleeping or forgetting to send a message, and someone else suffered real consequences, maybe even something tragic, totally out of proportion to what you did. When the outcome is huge, guilt can feel overwhelming, even if all you did was slip up for a moment. Guilt isn't about your action, it's about the fallout. Your mind can turn one tiny lapse into a life sentence, especially if the damage spirals beyond what you have intended. That's why some people get stuck with relentless guilt over freak accidents or things they couldn't have controlled. The weight attaches to the result, not just your intention. Guilt's job is to push you to repair things. But if repair feels impossible, your brain keeps circling back, hoping you'll find a way to put things right. How guilt gets weaponized. Here's the dark side. Guilt gets used to control people more often than anyone likes to admit. Guilt is basically the Swiss Army knife of manipulation. You see it everywhere, in families, relationships, workplaces, even politics and religion. Anytime someone makes you feel not enough, or like you're constantly letting them down, watch out. They're steering your choices with guilt. Here's how it works. First, they set a standard, sometimes very high, sometimes totally vague, so you can't win. Then when you fall short, because almost everyone does, they hit you with reminders or passive-aggressive digs. Could be direct, after all I've done for you, you won't even call me back, or more subtle, like a sigh or an eye roll. Now, instead of acting on your own values, you're scrambling to avoid the guilt and chasing their approval. The goalpost keeps moving and you're stuck in a cycle trying to make up for letting them down. You'll see this playbook everywhere. Families. If you really loved me, you'll do this, etc. Work. A real team player will stay back late. Religious groups. A good person never questions tradition. Romantic partners or friends. I guess I just care more than you do. Weaponized guilt isn't here to help you change or grow. It's about keeping you compliant, stuck, or endlessly making up for something. And the more you scramble to make amends, the more power you hand over. The bottom line, if you notice someone keeps using guilt as their go-to tactic to get you doing what they want, that's not about your growth, that's straight up manipulation. Set boundaries. Guilt should guide your own better choices, not become someone else's remote control for your life. When guilt works for good, here's the flip side. Used ethically, guilt is pure motivation. It pushes people to apologize, repair damage, or shift their behavior so they don't make the same mistake again. It's even used in politics. Some persuaders ask leaders to imagine their families watching them vote. The idea? If you feel like your loved ones are witnesses, you'll act with more integrity. Guilt, when released, becomes growth. Keyword, released. How to actually release guilt. Guilt is brutal when it won't quit. Luckily, there are proven ways to finally let go, even if you can't fix the harm directly. Step 1. If you can apologize, do it. A sincere apology, owning up and making things as right as possible really can be enough. Step 2. If amends aren't possible, change for good. Sometimes the harm can't be fixed. Shift your actions or habits, learn the lesson, and commit to doing better. That's real growth. Step 3. If you can't reach the person, go symbolic. Science backs this up. In one famous study, people thinking of something bad they've done often chose a handy wipe over a pencil, literally wiping their hands and their conscience clean. That simple symbolic act zapped their urge to punish themselves. So, donate, help someone else, write a note you'll never send, do a ritual that feels meaningful. Symbolic repairs can release you even long after the fact. Wrap up and viewer challenge. Guilt isn't a trap you just have to live with. Spot the system. Standard, slip, harm, reaction, release. If you're carrying something heavy, ask yourself, can I apologize? Can I make it up even if the person never sees? Or can I do something symbolic to mark a real change? Let me know in the comments what version you're trying, apology, change, or symbolic act. Remember, if someone keeps using guilt as leverage, I encourage you to set your boundaries because guilt belongs to you. It doesn't belong to them. Ready to go deeper? Thank you for watching. If you're ready to dig even deeper and untangle other emotions that keep you stuck, my video about hate breaks down why hate shows up, how it hijacks your mind, and how you can break its cycle, just like with guilt. If you ever felt the surge of anger that turns into resentment, or worse, you'll want to see this. And if you think hypnotherapy might help you finally move on, check out all the details about my tele sessions and phone programs. They're in the description and the channel bio with 20% off right now. Whatever the negative emotion you're carrying right now, you don't have to carry this forever. This is Marco Ocello, and I'll see you in the next video.